Hey, this is Andy from potatoesandpearls.com. And have you ever had apples in the house that were about to go bad that you needed to get rid of quickly? Or have you ever had bought apples for the purpose of making a pie or something, and you bought too many and now you have some left over and you really didn't plan on eating them, but they're just here? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you a great way to get rid of those extra apples. I'm going to make hot apple cider in the Instant Pot using apples. This is going to make a great quick idea for, let's say you're having some type of holiday party last minute and you need to throw something together. You don't necessarily have to use old apples. You could literally just go to the store and buy apples. As in all of my videos, I'm using a Instant Pot Mini. So this can be adapted for a larger Instant Pot. You can just use more apples. But for the Instant Pot Mini, honestly, 2 apples was perfect. I could probably put in maybe another apple, 3 apples, but 2 was a perfect amount to get maybe about 4 cups of juice. And so I'm just chopping up the apples here. It does not matter how you chop them. You do not need to take the skin off of them. You honestly don't need to take the seeds out or the stems, but I just kind of cut the stems out just to be safe. But yeah, just chop them any way you like and you're throwing them in the pot. So once you've cut up your apples, you're going to want to go ahead and put them into the pot. Once you put them into the pot, you are going to want to add enough water to, best way to describe it, cover the apples. It's not going to necessarily cover the apples, but if you were to push the apples down into the bottom of the pot, it would be water where it would be covering. So you're not just having a little bit of water simmering in the bottom. You want water in this pot. On the Instant Pot Mini, it came up to about the max line in the Instant Pot to cover up the 2 apples. And so once you have your water in, you're going to go ahead and add your seasonings. With seasonings, that is personal preference. I like a little spice in my apple cider, so I add in a good amount of ginger. I don't even really necessarily measure it. I just know what I like. So I just sprinkle in some ginger. I add in about 3 cinnamon sticks. I like working with cinnamon sticks instead of working with the cinnamon powder when it comes to making apple cider. And so you'll just add in whatever you like. I'm going to be putting in my sugar later, and I'll talk about that later in the video, but for now I'm just putting in my ginger and my cinnamon. So once you have everything fixed, you're going to go ahead and place your lid and make sure that you have your bat nozzle placed in the not venting position, like with all pressure cooking recipes. You're going to go ahead and place your Instant Pot in pressure cook mode, and you're going to set it for 10 minutes. Now there is a time before where the pressure cooker has to get the appropriate pressure setting, but it will take, after that, it takes 10 minutes for this to cook. Now that the cooking time has passed, the 10 minutes for cooking, with this it took about 10 minutes for it to find the appropriate pressure for cooking. So about 20 minutes all in all. That's still not that long for this particular recipe. And so now that that time has passed, I did a manual release. As you could see earlier, instead of doing a natural release. There's no need for a natural release. We're not cooking meat, so we don't need to wait or give it extra cooking time. You can see we have our apple mush, I would say, in the pot. And so what I do is I take a potato masher and I go through the pot and I mush down just to make sure you're getting out all of the flavor and you're mixing up everything and making sure you have all of your apple just blended in and within the liquid portion that we're going to pull out. You are going to want to take out your cinnamon sticks. You don't want to just leave those in there just because you can't drink a cinnamon stick. So I do pull those out. Be careful. The pot is very hot. Just because I'm putting my hand in there doesn't mean you should put your hand in there. So just be careful. Don't burn yourself. And just this portion is just make sure that you have everything blended in there. You're not seeing any, you've gotten all your cinnamon sticks out, and you're just blending in just to make sure that all the flavor and everything is in that liquid that we are going to pull out. And this is your final step of making the apple cider. You are going to need a mesh strainer and a bowl. It would be preferable if you had a mesh strainer that fit on top of the bowl that you're using. I know we don't all have pieces that fit together so nicely, but that is your best working contraption when doing this. And you are just going to take the contents of your Instant Pot and pour them through the mesh strainer. Make sure that you are wearing a hot pad glove on your hand because your Instant Pot is hot. Do not just grab the metal bowl out of the Instant Pot. You will burn yourself. And so you're just going to pour this through the mesh strainer, and you'll see all the liquid will gather at the bottom in the bowl, and all of that mush from the apples will collect into the mesh strainer at the top. And so the liquid at the bottom is your apple cider. And this is what I was talking about in the beginning when I was talking about seasonings. I don't add my sugar until the end because let's say you're thinking about giving this to somebody who is trying to eat healthier, or there's somebody who is diabetic, or there's somebody who just doesn't like a heavy taste of sugar like myself. I just add in a little bit of sugar at a time. I use brown sugar, stir it in, taste it. If I don't like the flavor then I know I need to add a little bit more, and then if I do, then that's perfect. And I didn't add in a bunch of sugar at the beginning, not knowing what I was getting myself in. And that is it. We have made apple cider in the Instant Pot with fresh apples. It's a very flexible recipe. You can add in your own seasonings. You can add in your own sugars. It's just a great thing to throw together if you're having a quick holiday party or really any time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you are into food, if you are into home, if you are into travel, this is a channel for you, and I hope you consider subscribing. And until my next video, which posts here weekly, bye!